Hey YouTube, what's going on? So basically, this is my second channel, Religion Link TV. How are you? How are you? How are you? TV Live. I have an original channel called Religion Link TV. And guys, I'm trying to keep the celebrity news, away from the content that, I share about the Lord and my personal experience, right? So, we have Jussie Smollett. There's people in this world who think that Obama's involvement, there are people who think that the Obama's involvement with Jussie Smollett is not real. Like, it's just conspiracy theories. But I'm gonna go ahead and read something to you called Michelle Obama's ex-top aide texted Jussie Smollett, prosecutor, early in the case. Some want that investigated. Can you guys see that? Okay. So it goes on to say, guys, CNN, Tina Tetchen's longtime friend wasn't surprised the former Obama administration aide helped connect Jussie Smollett's family with a top Illinois prosecutor. This lady, Tina Tetchen, used to work for Michelle Obama. Some point during this whole investigation with Jussie Smollett, this woman reached out to one of the prosecutors involved. Also, we're going to read about a lady named Kim Fox who recused herself from the case and wanted to give the case over to the FBI. So it goes on to say, weeks before a grand jury indicted Smollet on the theory he falsely reported being the victim of a hate crime, relatives of the actor, who is black and gay, had expressed to Tetchen concerns about the investigation by the Chicago police. Maybe they feel that at points and times in the past, the Chicago police have not dealt right with black people and dealt right with black gay people. So it goes on to say, getting the right person to take those sort of concerns seriously has been a hallmark of Tetchen's career, highlighted by a stint as then First Lady Michelle Obama's chief of staff, and now by her work leading a probe of workplace culture at the Southern Poverty Law Center. It goes on to say, long before Black Lives Matter, long before Time's Up, long before the hashtag #MeToo movement, we were aware of how difficult it is to be believed as a woman, as a gay, as a black, Tetchen's friend Marilyn Katz said. Our whole lives have taught us this lesson. But the involvement of Tetchen, a Harvard graduate who earned her law degree from Northwestern University, in the Smollet case has sparked accusations of favoritism, particularly after the Office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox this week dropped 16 felony charges of disorderly conduct against Smollet. Now, Maggot is the one that dropped the charges. I believe I said in that video on the other channel. Go over there, subscribe over there, guys, if you haven't already, and then come back and finish watching this video. Thank you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, please. I appreciate the 6 supporters that I have here already. So it goes on to say, in exchange, he agreed to forfeit his $10,000 bail in complete community services. This deal was pretty much worked out before they even got to the grand jury, I believe. Tetchen, 63, I'll show you a picture of her here. Tetchen, 63, said her contact with Fox on behalf of Smollett's family was not intended to influence the case's outcome. It goes on to say, I know members of the Smollet family based on prior work together, she said this week in a statement. Shortly after Mr. Smollet reported he was attacked, as a family friend, I contacted Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, who I also knew from prior work together. My sole activity was to put the chief prosecutor in the case in touch with an alleged victim's family who had concerns about how the investigation was being characterized by the public. But does that happen with everybody who commits a crime or who is brought up on charges? There's a lot of favoritism going here that way. Mayor Rahm Emanuel said in his statement that it's not fair. This is definitely a whitewash of justice. I can get that. Clearly, where we see that it works for one person but not the other person. And he used an example, the USC University scandal, where Dr. Dre is involved with that. People with money get to pay to get their kids in the best schools, but what about us? My daughter's in college now, but did I have to manipulate myself, use myself, abuse myself, and get over on a system to get her there? Absolutely not. So there is favoritism in this world, guys. Is it in this case right here? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. So it goes on to say, that explanation, however, hasn't quieted calls for investigations into whether Smollet got off easy because of his fame and well-placed connections, perhaps, including Titan. Smollett's camp denies the claims. Titan did not respond beyond her statement to CNN's request for a comment. Then it goes on to say, Titan's text prosecutors of families concerned. Smollet told police 2 men attacked him on January 29th, yelling racist and homophobic slurs. Prior to that, he himself sent a letter to Fox headquarters where the show of Empire is filmed and said, "You will die, black fag." He sent that letter to himself, yelling racist and homophobic slurs while striking him. I also said this might have been him and Lee Daniels allegedly in that hotel having sex. All the kissing and pictures I showed you over there with them two, this may have been a way for them to keep Lee Daniels out of the limelight, because he did come on 2 days after the attack happened, said Jussie is his son. Okay. How do we let people like this get away with it? No man should be in prison. That's just me. Murder, yes, things like that. But he should be held accountable some way, even if he was brought up on charges, had to give his $10,000 and serve community services. But nothing. So who had their hand in this pot to make the case? The 16 charges brought against him, not one stuck. And this isn't black against black, not liking black people, not supporting black people. I'm supporting black people by start telling the damn truth. Stop lying. Satan is the father of lies, black people. Haven't we been lied on enough? Haven't we been lied to? Haven't our history, our culture, and everything about us been a damn lie? So he said the assault ended with a noose placed around his neck and chemicals poured on him. I tell you, Jussie was earning $20,000 when this all went down. Him and Lee Daniels could allegedly got into a fight over money, and Lee might have put that noose around his damn neck. He did call him his son, and we all know your children, you brought them in this world to take them out. I gave you this job, I'll take it from you. And not too shortly after that, he was being written out of the cast. Remember, Jussie played a gay man on Empire and got beat up once before on one of those episodes, either from, I think it's D Major, Major D, or Warren, I think the other cast name is, the lady's son, Felicia Rashad's son, right? I even put in that video a clip of where he beat up Felicia Rashad's son, Warren. I don't know her name on the cast, but Warren is her son's name. So there was violence and controversy about how much violence was on Empire at one time. And I said, this just seems like it's going to be written into the cast at some point. And I also did prior videos over there showing you when Trump was being elected that the whole Empire cast was against him, stood up for Hillary, and they did this crazy video that had an undertone of racism in it. Now, Tetchen reached out to Fox just 3 days after the attack report. According to text and email messages obtained by CNN through a public records request, she wrote that the family had concerns about the investigation. I would have concerns about the investigation too if my damn son lied. If my damn son said that two white men causing an uproar racially assaulted him, poured bleach on him, put a noose around his neck, punched him in the face, called him nigger and faggot and black this and black that, only to realize, he's telling a lie. To cover up what? Because even the night it happened, he didn't want to give over his phone records, and I believe Lee Daniels may have been the last person to talk to Jussie. Fox emailed Tetchen later that day, saying in part, spoke to the police superintendent, Eddie Johnson. I convinced him to reach out to the FBI to ask that they take over the investigation. He is reaching out now and will get back to me shortly. On the same day, another person identified by Fox's office as a Smollet family friend texted the prosecutor to ask whether they could talk by phone. The records show Tina Tetchen gave me your number, the friend wrote. So there's some involvement here. I never said the Obamas was officially involved, but like I said in my last video, I'm not going to sit here and say they probably didn't have anything to do with it or know that Tina was reaching out. They're friends with Jussie as well. And not only is this Tina Tetchen a former aide of Michelle, but Rahm Emanuel is a former chief of staff of Obama. He's the mayor of Chicago. And Tetchen is friends with his wife. Okay? Hours later, Fox Report responded by text to the family friend whose identity is redacted in the public records. It should say retracted. Redacted is the same thing. Spoke to the superintendent earlier, Eddie Johnson. He made the ask, trying to figure out the logistics. I'll keep you posted, the prosecutor wrote. This is what's going on YouTube. Everything with the emails and the texts and people behind the scenes, and when what should literally be held up as a conviction or a real justice is turning out to be whitewashing, pretending, assuming, mimicking, not really being the truth, people. I make no guarantees, but I'm trying, Fox replied. So, in my other video, it says she recused herself, and I can see why now. I said because sometimes when people recuse themselves, there's a conflict of interest. They don't believe what the person says. She has more involvement with this than we know, right? Because after all, Fox is the one who wants to turn it over to the FBI. And then Trump, he said some harsh things to Jussie. And then also Mayor Rahm Emanuel said it's because of Trump's toxic environment that gives Jussie and people like Jussie the right to go around and create nonsense like this because it's a toxic, chaotic environment. Do the research. Look that up, guys. So then it goes on here to say Chicago police said the FBI has been involved since day one, providing technical assistance to our officers in the Smollet case. Johnson has said he was amenable to talking about having the FBI lead the Smollet investigation, but police and federal officials decided it would be most appropriate for Chicago police to stay at the helm, he told US Today. So this happened in your city, Chicago. We want you to deal with it. The FBI is like, we want you to deal with it, Chicago. Fox ties recusal to interaction with family. Fox and the family friend exchanged text messages until February 13th. You guys can see that. Cook County State's Attorney's Office spokeswoman Tandra Simonton had said, Around the same time in mid-February, Fox decided to recuse herself from decision-making in the case after consulting with her ethics officer in the state's attorney's office. She told CNN affiliates WLS on Wednesday it became clear Smollet had gone from victim to suspect, she said. Let's see what this says. Maybe I can give you a little bit of this. This just came up on my phone, so I feel it's appropriate to do it on this channel and not my other channel. I'm going to keep God over there, keep God over here as well, but we can get into stories like this more on the Religion Link TV Live, okay? And although I'm not live and doing this upload, guys, I will be going live Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. Sometimes later on today I'll go live.
Mr. Smollet did what he was charged with doing?
Yes, we stand behind CPD's investigation in this case, the great work, the tremendous work that they did in investigating this case.
Do you consider him innocent?
No.
Okay, so now the Fraternal Order of Police, Chicago's police union, is demanding an investigation into why then the Cook County State Attorney's Office didn't pursue those charges. CNN national correspondent Ryan Young is following these developments. Ryan, what explains this?
Hold on, we should be getting Bluetooth. No.
So many people have had their feelings sort of hurt.
I'm learning, guys.
And we can't even chase the facts down anymore because...
What's going on? I guess audio don't really want to play.
As we've been talking about, this court case has been sealed because the charges have been dropped. But if you think about this, when you think about the fact that the prosecution actually stood at the mics and read from the indictment and gave us all this information, if this was the course turn they were going to take, why not have the same news conference yesterday where they gave us all the information and laid out why they did not decide to do these charges? That's the big question that so many people are asking. And don't forget, the superintendent and mayor pretty much found out the charges are being dropped at the same time we found out. And this was an emergency hearing. We all ran down there to try to figure out exactly what's going on. But so many people are asking the questions about, wasn't this a special privilege? Did something else happen here? And
all right, so we're buffering, guys. Again, I'll try to link this. I want to go ahead and read a little bit more to you. If at all it comes back on while we're talking, I'll probably show you the rest of it. It goes on to say, we sat down and talked about the fact that I don't want any speculation or concern, she said. I don't even want the appearance that my involvement with this case, having now seen or talked to a family member.
Listen to the prosecutor talk about how this case was set up.
The only reason that it's getting the scrutiny that it is because of who got the disposition. There are plenty of other cases, like I said, over 5,700 that have gotten some type of alternative or deferred type of prosecution.
Excuse me.
Jim, that may be the case, but if you think about this story's gotten international attention. Jussie Smollet called police, or one of his friends called police to say that he had been attacked. Let's not forget, it was one of the coldest nights in Chicago. He was walking back from the subway. That's what he tells police, when he was attacked by two people.
All right, so this is playing. I'm going to go ahead. It's buffering for some reason. I'm going to read a few more to you, and then you guys can go ahead and search this out for yourself. Jussie Smollet, was there any backdoor behind the scenes involvement for him to get off of these charges? Let's face it, people. Like I said in that video, until black people stop lying and covering up for other black people, Tina Tetchums and the Kim Foxes and let justice prevail. Let it unfold the way it have to. When you start manipulating and putting your 2 cents in it, that's when there becomes a problem. Now on the backside of this, Jussie is not clean off. Jussie is going to have to live with this the rest of his life. I'm sure of that. It goes on to say, I don't even want the appearance that my involvement with this case, having now seen or talked to family members, would in any way impede this investigation. Make better choices, people. We know the law. So I made the decision that consultation to say, wall me off. I'm done. Fox says she turned the case over to the first assistant 1 week before any changes were filed. Soon after that, evidence began to emerge publicly that Smollet allegedly paid 2 men to orchestrate the reported assault on him. Police on February 21st arrested Smollet, saying they believe the actor faked the attack to bolster his profile and career. Why? Why so many people on here faking the funk to bolster their career on YouTube, to bolster their influence, to bolster their following in this world? It's not worth it, people. The backlash and what Jussie is going through now, the world being divided, communities being divided, YouTubers being divided about what's right, what's wrong. Let's go on and finish reading. It says, police on February 21st arrested Smollet, saying they believe the actor faked the attack to bolster his profile and career. Smollet has maintained that he has been truthful and consistent about the assault. And we heard, he says, as I'm my mother's son, I wouldn't come out here and lie. Jussie, come on. Fox's office charged Smollet and believed that they could prove him guilty. Fox told WLS she later asserted specific aspects of the evidence and testimony would have made securing conviction against Smollet uncertain, according to the commentary Friday in the Chicago Tribune, in which the prosecutor also welcomed an outside review of how the case was handled. That you can see right in that section there. Okay. Fox consistently has said Smollet qualified for the diversion program because of the low level of the crimes. He has a clean record. What about somebody selling drugs? Never got in trouble before. They spending 25, 30 years, 50 years in prison for a sale. Yet this could have took the country and the world into a whole nother demeaning or realm of hatred, especially against black gays, white gays, hell, people in general. No political influence, Smollett's lawyer says. But since the charges were dismissed this week, Fox's office handling of the case has come under fire, including from the National District Attorneys Association, which released a statement recommending in part that prosecutors should not take advice from politically active friends of the accused in high-profile cases. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. There is a video. We can see what this nice black woman has to say here. It basically goes on to say, turn that commercial down. It goes on to say, the Smollet case, the group wrote, illustrates that the rich are treated differently. The politically connected receive favorable treatment, and Lady Justice sometimes peeks under her blindfold to see who stands before her. What do you think about that?
I believe based on the facts and the evidence that was presented in the charging decision made by this office believed that they could prove him guilty.
She's not saying they could have proven it. She actually had recused herself from the case. And she's already under fire for having had contact with the actor's family before he was charged.
Smollet, for his part, has repeatedly said that he is innocent of all the charges. We should mention this, though, Aaron. The prosecutor, you heard her there, state's attorney, saying that they didn't really want the entire case sealed. But in court, when this case came up to the judge, the defense attorneys asked for it to be sealed, and the prosecutor did not say no to that. And essentially, they agreed by their silence.
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up there. basically read this statement again. It says here, the rich are treated differently. Let me know your thoughts about that. The politically connected receive favorable treatment. And again, this is just, Jussie knows the Obamas. They hung out. Michelle's on stage dancing and twerking with Jussie, XYZ. So just because you know someone in politics, does that mean you did anything wrong? Does it mean you did anything wrong when people in politics start calling the prosecutors and things like that? Let's be real, people. And Lady Justice sometimes peek under her blindfold to see who stands before her. So, I'll let you see that comment there. It's right there. All right, guys, it's been 25 minutes in. This has been real. My name is Religion Link TV Live. Absolutely. On this channel, my name is Drew as well. But guys, it's just, is there hands in the pot? Is this investigation over? Will Jussie Smollett be retried and brought back up on charges? Will anybody in a state's prosecutor's office be brought up on charges? As we read in the beginning, Michelle Obama's top aide texted the Jussie Smollett prosecutor early in the case, and someone sat investigated. Let me know what you think about this, guys. And remember, it's not a conspiracy theory when the facts are out there, when the proof is in the pudding. The Obamas had nothing to do with it per se. It was the ex-aide of Obama, like I said over in the other video. But yet, they know the Jussie Smollett family. They're all from Chicago. You understand what I'm saying? And they're not all from Chicago. The Obamas live there. Jussie filmed there, excuse me. But there's a connection. What do you think about it? Is there any truth to Jussie getting off of 16 charges? Because, as we just read, the financially well-stabled and off people in the world get better treatment than the lower class, than the regular people of the world. And are the politically connected, making an influence on certain cases like this because of who they know politically? Or are people getting off because of who they know politically? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I don't see anything else here that I feel to go over. Let me just read this right here. If anything happened, we would have called someone we knew and said, I'm concerned about a friend. Can you make sure that it's on the up and up? We want that for everybody. Tina Tetchin, there's people going to jail every day. You want to make sure they're on the up and up? And not just people who can forfeit $10,000 as a bond? No. You got to have the same mindset in law for everybody. Or it's not being fair. The system is really broken. I'm concerned about a friend. Can you make sure that it is on the up and up? Kat said of the political organization. We would call each other and say, I'm worried about something. What do you think or can help? Listen to this without thinking about it. Like they did nothing wrong. All right, guys, that's it. This is a Jussie Smollett read right here. Giving you content, giving you the tea on the former Obama aide is the one that was making the phone calls, not the Obamas. But again, do you ever get off because of who you know? Let me know what your thoughts are. This is Religion Link TV and live, and over here we say we sipping all the tea with no jive. Thank you and God bless.